Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Buck Let's Play coming at you once again, and today we're reviewing a fantastic video game, The Sim City. And of course, it's not Sim City 2013. It'd be neat if they gave it that name, but it's just called Sim City. It's been a long time since we have seen a new Sim City by Maxis, and you know what? I think you're all in for a really good treat because they've done so much to improve the gameplay, make it user-friendly, and just so much more fun. So starting, we're going to go ahead and show you the world that I've built within just the past hour of playing. It's so easy. They make things so much easier than the original SimCity 4. It's a lot less painful dealing with finances. It's easily to get back into the positive side of things. But yeah, anyway, wait for it to load here, and we'll go ahead and show you some of the things we've built. And then, of course, toward the end of this review, I will let you know what I give it out of 5 for the 5 basic points that I like to do for video game reviews. But anyway, here you can see there was nothing here when I started the video game, and now you can see what I've got going. I started off by building a road right here, connecting it to the main highway, which of course you don't build this highway. It's actually that's just what connects it to the rest of your region. Right now this is a private game, no one can join it, but that's a great feature that I haven't got to try out, that you can actually play these games with your friends. And there's so many options that I would like to talk about here. Just basic things like waste removal, water, power. Right now, of course, since this is the only town in the region, I'm the only one playing. Of course, I have to supply my own energy and water, but you can actually trade with other players in the game. But let's get started. Here you can see is the town hall right here in the middle. You don't actually start out with it, and you can't build it right off. You know, you can actually get it pretty quickly, but you don't get to build it right away. You actually have to have basic requirements such as water, power, and I believe, or I think it's just a connection to the highway, and then as soon as you have all that taken care of, you're ready to go. So the building tool, of course I'm going to go right over here. It's a lot easier than what it used to be. Just click, drag, and there you go. I don't know if I can undo that. I don't think so. No, I just wasted a bunch of money. But anyway, and you can delete that. You've got all these options down here. You've got like a round option to make round roads. You've got freeform, which of course that's not, well, no, it is freeform. But anyway, just some basic, really awesome options. Another feature that I really like about this game is the fact you don't have to build water pipes anymore, and you don't have to build electric lines. Whenever you hook up your water or electricity to the city, as long as it's along the road, and we'll switch to a view here, it gives power to everything that's connected by a road. So every single building in the game has power, as you can see, because they are along the roads. Water, everything is connected by water. Of course, they made a quick change. In order to have water, you've got to actually build in areas where water can be pumped. Of course, I picked a region that has plenty of water, and of course it's being pumped up by this water tower. They've made it so much more user-friendly. You can just click on basically any data value in here. Like, for instance, this is crime. This is the crime rate of my city. Of course, not too bad. We've got about 1,500 people living here, so there's not really any crime. Here is the health map of the game. Of course, you can see patients in hospital. I don't have a hospital right now, so that says they're waiting. Apparently, these little fuchsia or whatever color that is actually shows people that are injured, and apparently there's someone injured over here in my industry area. The orange shows people that are sick, which there's a sick person over here. Then of course there's all kinds of different things such as germs. So I think the next thing I'll focus on is building a clinic. Of course, you got fire risk. Right now it says there's no fire risk, which actually I would think there'd be plenty of fire risk over my industry area, which people really want to have. Another neat feature for those of you that really want to get jumping right into building industry and making lots of money. Whenever you build with the industry button, you can see a little compass comes up, kind of like a compass. It has an arrow pointing. It shows what direction the wind is actually blowing in the region. So whenever you put your industry buildings down, you're going to probably put it to where the wind's not blowing towards your residential and commercial zones. And right now I've got a perfect area because everything's kind of blowing off into that direction. So those are some of the basic things. Of course, zoning is just as easy as ever. You just you click on any of the zones you want. You don't actually pick in the SimCity 4 back in 2004, you actually picked the density for the region or for each zone. But whenever you zone, you just zone it. If you want residential, you're going to zone it. You click and drag, there's residential zones there now. And as the density increases over time, they will actually build bigger buildings, become wealthier all on their own. Right down here where you can see my arrow right here, this actually is the demand for buildings in the city. And of course, I got my little construction guy here telling me that there are not enough freight consumers, etc. They give you a lot of hints. So if you ever get stuck, all you got to do is just basically kind of take on the hints that your different advisors will tell you. Right now, there is not a huge demand really for anything. Right now, the biggest demand is for residential zones, and as you can see, I'm not really crowded in the main area I started, but I thought it'd be kind of neat to go ahead and start building over here on this island. I'm going to make it kind of a residential island. And another thing I might say, I can't remember what button it is. It shows like desirability. That's density. Residential map, maybe. No, that's just happiness and money. Of course, it's really awesome the way they show how a lot of this stuff works. Land value. Of course, you can see if you start building homes over in the industry area, people aren't going to want to live there. Of course, it's going to have lower value. If you build homes near buildings such as your town hall, your school, that gives it more land value, and etc. Of course, the white area is good for low wealth, and then you got good for medium and good for high wealth, more towards your government buildings. A really, really, really neat feature that I liked about whenever this game came out is the fact that you can actually build onto your building. See, here at the grade school, right now it has a capacity for 150 students. I think right now there are only about 30 to 50 students that are enrolled in the school. And I know I'm jumping back and forth, but real quickly, you actually have to build bus stops to kind of indicate where your buses go to pick up students. They just added so many great things to this game to make it more complex, but not too hard to deal with. It just gives you a little bit more freedom to build your city exactly how you want it. But you can click on this edit button, and you actually can go in here and edit the way your school actually looks, and, well, not necessarily looks, but you get to add things to it. Right now, originally it started with one bus lot, which actually comes with 2 buses. Cost $100 per hour, but that's exactly what it is. I added another one, so now my city has 4 buses. And then you can click on this, and you add more. You got the option to build classrooms. I can't afford it, but if we needed to add more classrooms for more staff and student capacity, I can add them on like this. Apparently, you're only allowed to add 4 per school, and that's, of course, the classrooms, and you can add 4 more top floors. And apparently, you can do that on the classrooms, and I would assume maybe on the top of the main building. I'm not sure. Just things like that. It's really interesting. And, of course, look, little things like you can build a flagpole. You can put a grade sign up. I think more of these options come to you as your city actually progresses. Right now, I have to reach 5,000 residents to upgrade my town hall to a city hall. And right now, this is what the town hall looks like. It's a pretty nice town hall for such a small town, but it's really neat. Real quickly, we'll go ahead and look at some of what the commercial buildings look like. Each building has a role in the city, and for example, like your industry buildings, a lot of the things that are built there, which are usually quite random, they actually provide your commercial buildings with supplies they need to run their own businesses. For example, here's a building, a hair dye factory. Freight shipments are making huge profits. It's showing that this building is actually making a lot of money. It's probably going to go far in the future. Let's actually put the game into motion real quick. You can kind of see whenever we get it in motion here, you can tell factories are in production. Of course, for some reason, the assembly line is not running. Normally it is. But anyway, Another interesting thing here, another part towards pollution. As soon as you start, you're going to have to deal with sewage. This is nasty, but it's the cheapest way to deal with it. Right now, I've only got two options. That's a sewage outflow pipe, which is what I have, or a sewage treatment plant, which is not approved, because you have to have a city hall in order to have it, a Department of Utilities, and then, of course, town hall, which already passed for that. Let's see, what is this? This is the Corey Burger Manufactory, and I hope that is what I think it is. But anyway, very, very, very interesting. Of course, you can look here. This is another view. Now that I have the sewage factory open, you can actually see the sewage running along sewage pipes throughout the city. Without the sewage treatment plant, it'll eventually just back up and overflow into people's homes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know there's so much more to show you in this. I may start a Let's Play series. I may start a new town. I'm probably going to start on the multiplayer, of course, because that really sounds like fun. Let me show you one more feature real quick. You pause the game. You actually can click on region view. You zoom out to your whole region. You can actually control and build other towns throughout the region and actually have them interact with your other towns. And then, of course, you have Great Works Site. Apparently, that's something you can do to, like, you can build a solar farm, you could build an international airport, you could build a space center, you can build a archaeology or whatever that is. Of course, that costs a lot of money, but you actually can do that, and it'll bring benefits towards your city. Then you just click back on City View, and you're brought right back into your town. And like I said, they've made the game so much easier from SimCity 4. SimCity 4 is a phenomenal video game. I loved it. It was a little hard for you if you didn't know what you were doing financially, but in this game they make it so much simpler and so much easier to understand and comprehend. So anyway, let us go ahead and go to those 5 points. My first point is how fun the game is. Now, this is all out of 5 stars, and I do not want to offend anyone if I offend you, but hopefully you all like my rating for this game. I've given it a pretty good rating. I give it a 5 out of 5 for how fun it is. This game has given you so many options. You have so many things you can do with it. I don't think you're going to get tired of it too quickly. So yes, I give it a 5 out of 5 for how fun it is. Graphics. The graphics are excellent. Everything looks very realistic. There is one reason, though, I'm going to dock it for the point that I'm going to give it. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. The only reason for that is, I know it's just a personal reason. It's not necessarily anything that's going to bug other people, but the way the people look, they didn't really improve how the people look. They still look kind of like the same as they did in SimCity 4, which is not a big deal. It's still okay. 4 out of 5. That's a pretty good score. Considering that's just a personal, iffy for me. Quality, which when I mean by quality, it's like effort in a storyline of a video game. Well, in this type of a video game, there really isn't a storyline. So what I mean by quality in this game's reason is probably just how well they actually worked in making it. And I give it a 5 out of 5 because they did a very good job making this game with all the options you have. Difficulty, 5 out of 5 once again. This game, the difficulty is not too hard, but then again, it's not too easy for those of you that really want to get into complex action. But it's, like I said, a game that just about anyone could jump into. And then, of course, my 5th point, time, how long the storyline is. Once again, we don't have really a storyline here, but when I say time, I'm saying how long are you going to play the game? Most likely, I'm going to play this game a lot, and even if you play one city and you're probably playing it for hours upon hours, or like me, probably tens upon tens of hours, you could easily start a new game and probably most likely not be bored of it. I love this game. I've only played it for a couple hours and I've already fallen in love with it. So after I've added all those up and divided it by 5, this game gets a total of 4.8 out of 5 by my records. I'm so sorry I had to dock it on the graphics. That's just a personal opinion there. I don't mean to offend anyone. That's just something that I wish, they had actually worked on, but it's not something that's going to stop me from liking this game and loving it so much. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I do a series of video game reviews. You can check out my channel. I have a playlist for all my video game reviews. I do a series of Let's Play games. I do music spoofs. I do all kinds of things. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Go check out my channel. It's at youtube.com/BuckLet'sPlay. And of course you already know that because it says Buck Let's Play in the description. But anyway, thank you all very so much for watching, and happy simming.